In this video, I want to share with you how I use pocket notebooks. So I currently own and use two different brands of pocket notebooks. I use a Field Notes and I use a Log and Jotter pocket notebook. And I first started off with a Field Notes and I bought their year-long subscription. And then I discovered Log and Jotter and I wanted to try them out. And I love them so much that I've just kept buying them as well. So I use both. I'll have links in the description so you can check them both out. And both brands, frankly, are extremely high quality and they're excellent, and that's why I continue to buy and use both. So how I use my notebooks, my pocket notebooks specifically, is an ongoing and it's an evolutionary process. I'm constantly experimenting and trying out new things, but here's what I have tried and I'm currently using them for. So first off, I keep a pocket notebook in my back pocket of whatever pants or shorts I am wearing. And I literally carry one around with me all the time, even when I am at home. The only time I do not have one is when I am either sleeping or I'm in the shower. And I will create a separate video where I go into detail as to why I use a pocket notebook. So please subscribe if you haven't already so you can check that one out. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of my older notebooks so you can see how I use them. So this is a collection of some of my older notebooks and I keep them wrapped with one of these Field Notes rubber bands that I got in the subscription packs. This is just a handy little calendar that came with it I can keep in the back. I also number all of my notebooks so I know which one's which and in which order I use them. So on the back kind of left-hand corner, I typically number them. This one's black, so it's kind of hard to write on. So maybe I put the number 5 here, so that actually goes here. But anyways, you can see it's a mix. I have Field Notes and Log and Jotter books. As you can see, I originally started off with just some scheduling things and various to-dos that I have during the day. And this is pretty much what I use a lot of them for, just jotting down ideas instead of reaching for my phone. So I've got a lot of things that plans of things that I've got to do for this particular meeting, things I wanted to talk about with my pastor. This is an idea for a bookstore that I had. Let's see what else is in here. Various ideas and to-dos that I've crossed off because I've completed them. I also kind of combine a little bit of the bullet journal method. So I'll use some of the symbols and markings if you're familiar with that, like the dot and the Xing out and the slashes and things like that. Here's a potential side hustle business I had for notebooks. Here's a Log and Jotter. I've got prayer requests in here for people, and I usually put that on the first page so that I can remember to be praying for people. Here's some purchases that I was trying to keep track of, but then I failed to keep up with because it's super tedious to write down every expense you make. And then I kind of got into this weekly calendar that I really like, and I started adopting, and it's very helpful. I basically just split the single page into equal thirds, and I put the day of the week and the date, and then I have a little box here to write things that I hope to accomplish that day. Various to-dos or things that I need to take care of. Here's some ideas for a freelance business I had as a web developer. More scheduling. Another thing that I will do too is sometimes I will have a dedicated notebook for a specific project that I'm working on. So a lot of these are just kind of catch-all to-dos, ideas, weekly calendars. They serve a lot of different purposes, but sometimes it's really handy to have one specific notebook where all of your thinking and ideas are around a specific project or topic. So this one was about a potential ministry and nonprofit I had, along with a podcast and making videos and things like that. So this all has to do with a single particular project. And it's nice knowing that anytime I have an idea about that project, I have a single place where I can store that, rather than if I have ideas for that same project and it's all kind of spread out, it gets really confusing for me to put them all together. Oftentimes what will happen, like you'll see here, before I started a project-specific notebook, I noticed that I was creating a lot of content and pages were getting filled up for one particular topic. And you can see it just keeps going and going and going. Here's even more. So like a good chunk of this notebook was just on one topic. So then I decided to abstract it out and create a notebook specifically for that topic. So that's really useful. Some later additions here. Let's see. Here's some ideas for a symphony. Like I said, I was a composer. I was thinking about writing. This notebook is another project notebook. This was going to be around a piece of music that I was planning on writing, and music scores that I was planning on studying. So these are more project specific. Let's see our most recent one. Here's a fairly recent one. Again, this one's got a lot of weekly calendars in it. So I sketch out the week, and I usually will do about a month, so about 4 to 6 weeks of material here. And then more prayer requests, ideas and to-dos for various different things. Here's the one workout I did. And then my son was bored in church and doodled in my notebook. Here's the one that I'm carrying around with me right now at the making of this video. Prayer requests again. Here's some books that I would like to read. So I've got a dedicated page for books that I need to check out. Here's various ideas that I have. Here's a section for to-dos. Here's to-dos specifically for work. Here's interview questions for an interview I was preparing for. I have a lot of interview questions apparently. More ideas. So here's a bunch of ideas for side hustles and projects I want. If you want to pause the video and steal them, by all means do so. And let me know in the comments if you're successful. Here's another side hustle project. And here's some to-dos for today, the making of this video, August 5th, 2024. More ideas for side hustles and ways to make money online. Here's an interesting one. Instead of thinking of side hustles and SaaS businesses, I am a software engineer, so that's kind of where my brain goes. I started listing out a whole bunch of problems. So instead of thinking of businesses, trying to think of pain points and problems for people. And these are just hypothetical problems that I came in with and I know people are experiencing. Some of them are own personal problems, but there's some of those. Feel free to steal those if you want. Pause the video by all means. So yeah, that pretty much is a good overview and look into some of the ways I'm using some of my pocket notebooks. But in conclusion of this video, just to remember that pocket notebooks are extremely useful and I really highly recommend that you give them a try. And I hope that this video was helpful in giving you some ideas of how you might use your own. And it's always important to experiment to see what works and what doesn't. And remember that there's really no right or wrong way for you to use your pocket notebooks. These little notebooks are your private little sanctuaries for your thoughts and your ideas. And they provide a way for you to escape all the noise in the world. And what's really great about them is because if you carry one on you all the time, they allow you to practice silence and solace and solitude wherever you are. So please let me know in the comments how you use your pocket notebooks so all of us can learn from you. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.